What's up, guys? Dylan Walker Comedy here. Recently, one of my dogs had to get put down, and so I was kind of struggling trying to figure out what dog am I going to get to replace Zeus. He was my white German Shepherd, and as I was trying to figure out the dog I was going to get, it kind of felt a little bit weird trying to replace my dog with another dog, so I kind of made a little bit different choice, and let me show y'all what I got. This is Bob. His name is Bob Marley. He is an ex-racehorse. He's called an off-the-track thoroughbred. Bob has been retired for some time now. He was a good horse, just not a good racehorse. They always start these horses from super young. So he's had a bit time in retirement, and he's my new project. It's my buddy, man. He's cool peoples. Hey, Bob. Easy. Good boy. So I'm gonna just show y'all what I typically go through on daily routine with Bob and how I typically work with him, how I've been progressing our trust with each other, and what I do now. So every day I come out here with Bob, I always make sure that I groom him properly, which is, I check him out. He lives out on the pasture, so this is pretty much his, hey, easy. This is his home. And I always make sure I check him out, make sure he doesn't have any new injuries or anything like that. Good boy, Bob. Boy. New injuries, new cuts, make sure he didn't get into any fights with any horses. Make sure his weight is looking good. I bring out extra feed for him. He has all this green grass to forage on, but I always make sure that I bring more food for him, just so that way he packs on a little snack. So I always check both sides of Bob, make sure he doesn't get into any of the vegetation or any of the pricklies back there. And if he does, I clean out his mane. So this is Bob's hard bristle brush. Not his favorite, but not his least favorite. I would say he's a little indifferent to it. Bob doesn't mind it. There are brushes that he likes more than others. His soft bristle brush is definitely his favorite. But when it comes down to this brush, this is all I basically use after I've loosened up all the dirt, all the hair, all the grime that's on Bob, and get that up off of him. Because once we do start riding, well, first of all, even if you're not riding, no horse wants to be filthy all day. Some people come out here more often than others. I am one of these people who come out more often than others to make sure my horse is clean. Why? Because I think a clean horse is a comfortable horse. A dirty horse can lead to being an irritated horse. Just my 2 cents of just bought a horse. But this is what I've been doing lately, man. Coming out here, checking out my horse. Building trust with Bob, building a relationship. When I got out here first, I was so scared to get behind and get underneath him and pick up his legs or even walk around Bob and be behind him. Boy, I thought I was going to be kicked so bad. And I have been kicked by a horse in the past. That's why I always kind of make sure that I'm careful and I respect the horse's boundaries and space. I believe if you respect an animal, he'll respect you back. But at the same time, it's also an animal that we're talking about here. You never really know. It's like a 2,000-pound dog. So. But he's a good horse, man. He's a super chill guy. It gives me a little bit of a meditation, something else to focus on. And I got a big-ass dog at the house, and I can't really get a bigger dog than Appa, so I got a horse. When I do take care of Bob and I brush him, I always make sure that I'm brushing him and his coat with the grain, and just be gentle. Like, these are big animals. I also make sure that, you understand how sensitive they are. They're really big, but they're also super sensitive. Bob will swat his feet and swish his tail and stomp his legs at a fly. So if you're super hard with the brush or with the grooming tools, I believe it's not hard to understand why a horse doesn't like it. So I try to be gentle with him. I try to pay attention to him when I am brushing him. People are like, oh, how often do you come see your horse? I see my horse all the time. Why? Because he lives out on the pasture. And if I don't come see him all the time, I believe that's a good way to end up with a green horse. Bob has ridden in races. Bob has competed in competitions for hunting and jumping. And he's had a real solid foundation on him So I try to give him as much human contact as possible to keep that foundation going. Right, so that's pretty much it with the hard bristle brush. Now comes Bob's least favorite part. I don't do the last soft bristle brush yet because I got to do his feet. And some days are better than others. Some days he lets me get his legs easier, some days he doesn't. It's all about just being patient and just allowing him to understand what it is you're trying to do. There you go. Good boy. When I first got Bob, doing this was like the craziest shit. Good boy, Bob. I was like, how often do I got to pick up the horse's legs? And then I Googled it, and it was like every day. I was like, every day? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, bro, me? So yeah. And like right here, if he decided to kick, he's mostly gonna kick back. And if he just decided to kick sideways, I'm right up against him. So his leg isn't gonna have as much time to generate power. When I do let his leg down, again, let it down gently. The soft bristle brush is his favorite. Bob knows this brush, and he likes this brush. It's least invasive on his skin, and I kind of use it as a little reward for him for being such a good boy and letting me pick up all 4 of his feet. I always like to start and make sure you get everything on one side first before I go to another side. See, sometimes, like right now, he got a little spooked, and so he'll be a little bit difficult. And if he does get difficult, I'm just kind of giving him a second. See, when he lowers his head, I know I got my horse back. I know I got Bob back. Good boy. And he's back to eating. It's really what it is. He's a sensitive guy. So when I do bring him out on the trails, I have a feeling that there's going to be a couple moments where he gets spooked. He's a thoroughbred. He's a racehorse. He's meant to go fast. Their first initial instinct is going to be to run. When anything scares them, they're going to run. He's not initially going to be, all right, let's fight about it. So if you're on his back when he decides to run, boy, that can be a problem. You better hold on, cowboy. A boy. But I love him. I think he adds a real good, really, really good benefit into my life. The next part is his absolute least favorite part, which is the fly spray. But I'm not going to do that right now. Right now, I might actually try to do a couple jumps and see if he'll let me on his back. Good boy, Bob. Good boy. Easy. Stand. Easy. Good boy. Atta boy, Bob. Good boy. So basically, I'm just letting him know that I'm getting ready to mount him. Good boy. Good boy. Let's see if he lets me on today, or if he bucks me off. Good boy. Good boy, Bob. Easy. Good boy. Shh. Easy. Good boy. Easy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Good boy. Whoa. That's a good boy. Good boy, Bob. That's a win. Then get off. That's a good boy. Great job. Good boy. I always like to train both sides. Last time I did this, I trained on the other side of him. Because you never know which side you're going to mount him from. So. Good boy. Easy. Good boy. Good boy, Bob. Good boy. Whoa. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Bob. Good boy. And then you get off. Good job, Bob. That's such a big win. Good boy. You did so good. Good job, Bob. Good boy. Good boy. That's a boy. That's a huge win.